fact that these problems involve a strong cultural dimension. They are deeply qualitative, involving human values and deeply entrenched social-political dynamics. Again, climate change is a good example, as is systemic political deadlock. Next, these problems have many deep interconnections and interdependencies. The systems we're dealing with in these wicked problems are intricately interconnected, interdependent, and non-linear. The problem of tackling poverty might be an example of this. It is strongly interconnected with many different areas, from economic inequality to racism to public services and so on. With these highly integrated problems, when you try to pull on one part, you end up getting the whole thing. Lastly, complex problems are dynamic. They evolve over time. Events are continuously changing. Problems and solutions are entwined as they co-evolve, with the definition of the problem itself also evolving. Coupled to this is the fact that the different components are often autonomous and adapting according to their own incentives and local environment, with limited central authority. The challenge of global governance is a good example of this, where authority to act still resides on the national level, and thus the international political environment is a product of the continuously evolving local level interactions and adaptations. Overcoming this to find global consensus and coordination is proving very difficult. In response to the intimidating nature of wicked problems, many people feel overwhelmed and respond with denial to the problem or resignation and determinism, resulting in inertia. Another typical response is to try to turn a complex problem into a simple one in a number of different ways, such as describing a related problem or sub-problem that you can solve and declare that that is the problem, or creating objective metrics by which to measure the solution's success, with whatever is not measured being free to absorb the real problem. That is to say, just shifting the problem from one place to another, which is very easy given the scale of the problem. Attempting to tame a wicked problem in this way, whilst appealing in the short run, will clearly fail in the long run. The wicked problem will reassert itself, perhaps in a different form, or worse, the tamed solution may exacerbate the problem. Truly tackling complex problems requires systems thinking to see the bigger picture and to integrate the many different perspectives and dimensions to the problem. By seeing the system as a whole, we can get a real idea of the true nexus that makes up the core constraints at the heart of the problem. We need to gain a fundamental perspective that encapsulates the many diametrically opposed views, and then work backwards to be able to contextualize the diverse perspectives on the problem. Wicked problems involve social complexity, and thus we need to develop a platform for building a common understanding of the problem. This means being able to communicate the complexity of the problem in a way that is accessible to all, creating a paradigm within which people can integrate their own contexts and meanings. Tackling these problems requires a strong infrastructure of trust and collaboration to overcome the need for a long-term, sustained investment where there is a lack of short-term incentives. Analysis of the stakeholders and the power dynamics surrounding the situation are critical to successfully designing stakeholder collaboration. Empathy and active listening are required to be able to effectively map out the diverse set of views and opinions that we need to integrate. Finally, having created a platform for the co-creation of solutions, we need an iterative, experimental approach to develop the project due to the co-evolutionary nature of problems and solutions. And this is where we'll pick up in the next section, where we'll be talking about agile project development.